afternoon. My name is Jefferson. I'll be your counselor for the day. What's your name?
Marisol.
All right, great. So I understand you have read and signed our privacy notice, but I just want to remind you that everything shared in this session will be strictly confidential. Otherwise, we are mandated to disclose your information if I feel that the client is endangered to himself or others. Is that okay with you?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So now, let's start off simple. How's your day so far?
My day has been pretty good. It's been pretty decent, I would say. Normal.
Okay. Throughout the week, what have been your highs and lows?
Throughout the week, testing is a low because I get anxiety, and highs, I guess, is just coming home and relaxing.
Okay. So home is your safe spot.
Yes.
Okay. Now, test. You said anxiety.
Mhm.
What's your history of anxiety?
I didn't have anxiety growing up. I probably started having anxiety like 5th grade and then middle school ish, like around 5th and 6th grade.
All right. Middle school. In elementary school, you said 5th grade, right?
Mhm.
What do you think started your anxiety?
I started getting bullied by other kids, and I would say for no reason, because there was never a legit reason to bully me, but I was bullied anyway.
Okay. And being bullied, how did that affect your persona, the person you were back then?
I ended up being closed off from people, and to myself, I preferred to be alone than be with other people.
And that started after the bullying?
Yeah, or during, technically.
Okay. And in middle school, let's go as far as middle school. It carried on from from elementary to middle school, right?
Yes.
And did you feel like you had nobody to go for, or did you have those people that were your confidentials?
I had my parents who were my main support, and I made a few friends in middle school. Like when I started middle school, I made 2 really good friends, and they were my support also.
Okay. Your parents, how did they tackle this?
They were always at the school trying to defend me, try to help me out with the bullying situation. But the school didn't really do much to help.
So that never changed?
No, it didn't really change. The school decided not to do anything about it. It was a really bad school.
Okay, how bad was the bullying?
I have gotten death threats from kids. I have had kids tell me they rather me not live, and why do I exist?
So, how did that affect your self-esteem?
I had no more confidence in myself, so that's why I said I chose to be alone most of the time. I was okay being alone.
Okay. And high school, how did that go about?
Bullying ended for me in high school. 9th grade, like the beginning of 9th grade, I stopped being bullied altogether.
Okay. And it stopped. What made you stop? Was it something out of nowhere, or what was it?
Well, most of the kids from middle school didn't go to the same high school as me. So that was, to me, a good thing that I went to a different high school. And I also learned how to stand up for myself.
So, would you say it was the change of environment?
Yes. The change of environment helped, even though change isn't good with me usually. But I appreciated the change because it made things better for my life.
So now that you didn't have those sorts of bullies going to your high school, was it easier for you to make more friends? Since
Yeah.
you can feel more outcasted? Alright.
Yeah, it was definitely easier. I decided to open up a little bit more. I tried to gain more friends, and I guess my anxiety kind of went down a little bit from doing that.
And how did you go about, I think I asked this already, but how did you eliminate your fear of being insecure?
Fear of being insecure. I think it wasn't ever eliminated, but it got easier to deal with it.
What was the point that made you stop being so afraid?
My father decided to teach me how to stand up for myself, how to project my voice, how to be louder if I I was ever in danger. So he taught me to protect myself if I was by myself.
And do you see a difference between how you were in middle school and how you were in high school affect your social life?
Yeah, I would say I was more insecure in middle school and I didn't want to do much. But in high school, I gained a lot of confidence, and I guess I wasn't that afraid of anything.
Okay. So you were outdoor and outgoing.
Yes, I was definitely a lot more outgoing in high school.
Okay. And you're saying that your parents are your great support system, and as I'm assuming they still are to this day, right?
No, my father passed away last year.
How did that affect you?
I got PTSD from his passing.
Okay. Um. Well, sorry to hear that. Now your father, he was, I would say, key into you becoming more braver. How did that affect your persona then, when you saw him when, he passed away?
I lost a lot of self-esteem, a lot of confidence. I definitely isolated myself completely from everybody. I lost all my friends that I ever had. So I was back to just being alone, and I was accepting being alone because it didn't seem like I had anybody.
So would you say you started back at square one?
Yeah, I probably did, but it's because when my father passed, not a lot of people showed up for me or was there for me when I thought they would be.
And that was hard for you to cope with.
Mhm.
And did you feel alone?
Yeah, I did feel alone.
And but having your mom around, did that help?
It did help having her around. It wasn't easy at first for her to deal with his passing either, but she tried her best to be on her own also, and also help me and still support me because I still live with her.
And how long ago was it that your dad passed away?
A year
So
ago.
how would you say your anxiety is now?
How's my anxiety now?
Yeah, compared to like how you were in middle school.
My anxiety, I would say, is 10 times worse because now I'm paranoid that an episode, like a PTSD episode, might happen, or something might, like anything could trigger my episodes. So I'm always on my toes, I would say. I'm always scared of something that will happen or something bad will happen to the people I care about.
Okay, it's understandable. So what I would say is, due to your that you say you were diagnosed with PTSD, did you went to a psychiatrist or how was it that it was diagnosed?
After my dad's passing, I did end up going to see a counselor, and I was with her for about a year, and she did end up diagnosing me with PTSD. And then learning that was difficult. It was a difficult adjustment in my life, also. But I decided to get a dog to have as my service dog to help me through my PTSD episodes.
A dog. So do you see that the dog helped you with the PTSD, improving it?
Yeah, he keeps me calm. He definitely knows my emotions, so just having him around keeps me calm in general.
All right. Other than that, is there anything else that you want to share?
Anything else I want to share? What would you advise for me to deal with my anxiety now since it's worse?
Your anxiety. I would say try to be more open. The same thing that you had when your dad told you. Now that I understand he's not there, but you just have to be brave enough for him, because he did want you to be strong, and it worked for a while until you lost him. But just think about the fact that he's still there with you, and if it wasn't for him, you wouldn't have the friends that you thought you had back then. You just be stronger.
Yeah.
And do you have any other support systems?
I have my fiance and my mother.
Your fiance. How is your fiance helping you cope with with the issues of your PTSD and your anxiety?
He knows how I feel, because me and him have been through the same thing of losing a parent. So me and him both know how it feels to be in that type of situation. So that's why he's really a good support system for me. I'm not alone.